Hey listeners, before we get into today's podcast, I want to thank today's sponsor, HelloFresh. Do you feel like you're stuck in a dinner rut? With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients with mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip all those trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. You can now enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in 30 minutes or less with over 25 recipes to choose from each week. There's something for everyone to enjoy. All recipes are designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure delicious and simplicity. And I was just over there on their website checking out what they have to offer. And I'm telling you, it's making me super hungry. We have a prosciutto wrapped chicken, which I'm such a sucker for prosciutto. Chicken over garlic parm, which looks delicious. And even a beef tenderloin and brown butter veggies. There's a lot to choose from over there. It looks fantastic. And today they're offering our listeners a discount. You can go to the link in our show notes to get $80 off, including free shipping on HelloFresh, the #1 meal kit.
Right, everybody off their phones.
Right now? I should do it now.
I'm paying attention. Chill.
Multitask.
Jeez, Boomer's yelling at you for being on your phone.
Yeah, what else is new?
Welcome back to the Bar Talk Podcast. I am your host, Andy from Inebriart. I am joined today by Dan Mahoney of Stats.
What's up? First billing. Woo.
Carl Heine of the New World Tavern, where we are recording. Thank you, Carl, for letting us record here.
You're welcome.
Shout out to New
Hello,
World.
everybody.
Check it out, Main Street, Plymouth. And,
Excited to be here.
You don't sound it.
It's
Very grumpy.
low-key
It's
opening
Monday,
today.
Carl.
Yeah.
He's had a long weekend.
And Jordan Shabbat
That is me.
of Speedwell Tavern
Hello.
and 6s and 7s?
6s and 7s.
When we
Opening next week.
Not even close. Being built out.
Yeah, so it's. I feel it's like very Monday. I don't
Yeah.
I feel like the energy's low here.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Slow builds.
Yeah.
No one's real salty, but just everyone's kind of low.
Carl's pretty salty.
Yeah, but he's always salty.
Yeah, not more than usual.
I'm right here, you know.
Mr. Peanut Heine over here. See your monocle and top hat.
I thought you were talking to my wife.
So we're just gonna jump into questions. Let's keep it low key.
do
This one's from Caitlin Rose. My staff is so tired. We're all working so much. Everyone seems happy, but we're a little slow right now, and everyone's shutting down. What can I do to boost them up? I feel like this is something that affects everyone right now.
So the staff's tired, but they're slow? Is that kind of
I think she means they're slowing down.
they're slowing?
Yeah.
There-
they're slow
there's the
season.
staff. I would take it as the staff is slowing down.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know then.
They're hitting a rut, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I would say, I don't know. I shut down for a day, like twice a year, kind of when I sense that stuff coming. I use it as a staff
But
meeting
that's you
day.
as an owner. A lot of these
Yeah.
owners aren't on-hands owners, so what do you do
Right.
if it's you're just a general manager or a
Yeah.
manager? You can't just shut down for a day.
No, I know. Well, you could explore it. You could ask the ownership, like, hey,
Yeah,
this is kind of what I'm vibing. You know what I mean? The owner might tell you to fucking
Hey,
BP,
yeah.
but
I can tell
All
you.
the employees are
I've-
sad. Can we shut down for a week?
I know I've worked for people
Hey.
that would laugh at me for saying that. so.
yeah, not for a week. I'm saying for a day, and you
even
use
for a
it.
day.
Use half the day productive. Use it for staff meetings. Tighten everybody back up. Maybe do some cleaning projects you can't do when you're always open.
And then team builder.
And then
Yeah,
they're gonna
team
complain
builder.
that they got to come in on their day off.
Well,
You give me a day off.
Told
I
you,
still have to come
told
in
you
now,
Carl
I'm
was
not making
salty
any
today.
money. Tell him to get a new job.
And then at night, you fucking feed them and get them drunk. You know what I mean? Just kind of let them hang out with each other, not in a work environment. I mean, work people, for the most part, I think, if you're in a good environment, like to spend time with each other, but it's always in a high-stress environment. So if you can put them in an environment together where they're not getting stressed out by trying to serve customers and be busy all day, then it does a lot. It helps. It doesn't fix everything, but it shows you paying attention.
Even if you, like, I don't know, on whatever slow day, say your day's slow, like a Wednesday,
Right.
open a little late, have a cornhole competition, give the winner, I don't know,
Scratch tickets.
scratch
Yeah,
tickets, or
something, yeah.
just do something amongst your staff that's fun and there's no work involved, and you're gonna lose an hour or two, whatever, but
Right. If it's the same person dragging their feet every fucking day, sure, you don't really feel bad for them. But if it's your entire staff you're noticing doing it all at once,
especially when you can
there's
tell
something
they're
going
getting
on.
burnt out.
Right, right.
You know when you've been going 90 miles an hour for like
Negativity
12
breeds negativity.
Right.
right.
So it's your job as a general manager or an owner
like
to,
that, Karl.
to
I was
nip it
just
in the bud.
my thought then was like, I don't know, Carl's staff seems kind of okay. Like, I don't know if that's true.
You know why?
Because they change every week.
Because I
They're
pep
disposable.
people up.
Because you what?
I pep people up.
Keeps kidnapping new kids to work
I'm
out
like a
back.
cheerleader.
Well,
I'm like a cheerleader for my employees.
well, what do you do to pep your cheerleader or to cheer your people on?
He does
Well-
interpretive dance.
Sometimes I fire them. And then once they start crying, I'm like, just kidding. Then they're all happy.
Are they?
They just nervously smile now. Yeah. But I think you could do, even you can take it as a staff meeting day like you do.
Yeah.
Gordon, and then that turns into debauchery. So.
Yeah, and the staff
Yeah.
meetings aren't productive.
No, it's
They're not.
everyone
They
just yelling at each other and you, and
Yeah.
nothing comes of it. And
It's an airing of the grievances, like festive
Yeah.
is more than anything else. But
Do you install like the pole and everything?
Yeah, we should. I got a couple polls in there.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, I have a feeling
got a
that
couple
poll would
of
turn
Germans.
into something else by the end of the night. So
I didn't even hear what he said. I can tell by the look in his face.
He said he had a couple of Poles. I said I have a couple of Germans.
yeah.
That's Nick joke.
I laughed. Yeah, I got it.
You ethnic joke? When does that ever happen?
All right. Brittany
All right.
Fontes. Hi all. I was hired for 7 hours at a private event. A baby shower. Oof. They're asking me what I would like to be paid, and I have no idea what to tell them. What do you typically charge for your services?
7 hours at a baby shower?
Oh,
sounds
that's
terrible.
So she was working?
I get the impression that she works in the industry, and
It's like a side
I love how I
job.
have to like interpret the questions.
Yeah.
So like,
As the
someone
host, that
says,
is your
like,
job.
Hey, I know you're a bartender. Why don't you come work this party that I have?
What scenario is going to give us the most content?
Yeah.
Let's go with that one.
I did a custom cocktail menu featuring blue drinks, a full bar, and a variety of beer. So she put some work into it.
Yeah. 7 hours?
That seems like a
I
long.
would, well, you got to come an hour and a half before, you stay an hour and a half
Yeah,
later.
yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. So maybe the
But still,
shower
that's-
itself only lasted 4 hours,
Yeah.
but you're right.
Doesn't that seem long for a baby shower? I don't really know.
I think he's
I
right,
don't
though.
go to
It's
those
the
things.
setting
Never had
up.
a baby
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah.
Huh?
I never had a baby shower.
And is she getting tipped? Probably not.
You never, I mean,
Oh,
yeah, can
maybe
you put
it
a
might
tip
be
jar
all
out there?
inclusive. It might be an
Yeah.
all inclusive price.
Right.
That they just rented out the room, including everything else.
Right. I feel like you should have had that worked out before you did it, but if you're charging after the fact, I mean, I don't know. How much did you sell?
Well, what you do is you take what you made at your other job, divide it by the hours that you worked, get an hourly wage, average that out, bring it in, and say, okay, I want this much per hour because that's what I would have made at my other job.
I think you should aim a little higher.
I would aim higher.
I would
though.
aim higher, too.
Yeah,
I was,
because you're bringing your own product. You're
She's what?
well, that's the thing is if
bringing
you're,
your own product.
is she
She
bringing
made the
everything?
cocktail menu. She created this cocktail menu, blue drinks and all that. I assume it's a boy.
What is,
Yeah,
she,
that's
gonna,
a-
what is she going to do with all the booze once it's done?
Yeah, so I'm
Sell it,
wondering
but
like
still.
if the host takes all, if they're getting all the booze and all that stuff,
Right.
so they don't have to bring it.
Yeah, we're assuming that she's not buying all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would assume that she's not paying out of pocket for the booze, and if so, she'd be compensated for it.
Travel
But ju-
time.
But just talking about your time and the work that you're putting in, so and this is from different industries. There was one guy I know who's like, I always think of what I would like to get paid and double it
Yeah.
because we always undervalue our time.
That's what I was actually thinking. So going with Carl's formula, double it, and then if they're like, fuck that, then you get time and a half then, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean you can negotiate it, whatever.
Right.
But I
Right.
think you should at least do what you would make on that 7-hour shift at your other job.
right.
Or take
at
what,
least.
or take what you're happy taking. If you
Yeah.
say I want $200 for the day, and that's
Right.
worth it for you to do it, then take $200 for the day.
Right. Right.
I also saw a freelance person say that they aim for 15% higher than you want to pay. Because he's like, as a freelance person, my job is to get as much money out of you. He's like, like it or not, that's,
You got to value your own
Right.
time.
He's like, and if I aim for 15% higher, say, okay, $500, whatever the price is, $5,000. and the person goes, that's a little bit more than I want, then you have no problem just dropping 10%.
Right. And then you still feel good at the end of the day and you've
Yep.
made more, right?
And you look like you did them a favor, so.
Exactly. So
I think this question might be a little over her head.
I think it might be over our head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Andy's answer.
I mean, there's different.
forget what it
there's
was.
different ways.
15% over what you would-
15% over what you think they'll pay,
Yeah.
or twice what you think you should be paid. I don't know. There's go on YouTube. There's different ways that you can find people out there telling you how.
They're
to,
not asking YouTube, they're asking us.
I know, but
Okay?
I'm
The professionals.
But there's,
YouTube doesn't answer.
there's different methods to it. Is what I'm saying. Jessica Pagan, finally new owner here. I don't know why. Finally, first location. What are your do's and don't for a beginner
A beginner what?
Owner.
owner?
Don't steal any ideas from anyone else in the neighborhood, and let alone base your entire business around that idea. When I first came into town,
He stole all the
Still
ideas.
bitter, man.
no, I'm talking about myself. When I first came
Oh,
into town,
the idea about starting a craft beer bar across from a craft beer bar?
yeah, you and Driftwood
Next
and
to
a
a
couple other
craft beer
places were
bar.
already open
Yeah.
in town, so I decided to do the same thing. And Pub 99 had craft beer online. So yeah, whatever. But Karl invented craft beer.
And like you invented egg rolls.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking about that. I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about
I'm just
when,
saying.
when I came into
before
town.
you throw stones, think of what you did.
You threw the stone, but
Yeah.
and I wasn't talking
But this
about
is
that.
the thing. It's been talked about on the show before. Carl stole the idea from a place in another town.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So all good ideas are stolen.
I'm not. That's not what I was saying. All right, my turn. When I came into town, I had a bunch of staff from New Bedford. I didn't know anybody in town, and people were kicking ass. Carl was here, Driftwood was here, T-Bones, Main Street. Everybody was doing well, and we were trying to like find our niche in Plymouth. So we had a real slow start. Nobody knew who we were because we didn't hire from in town. So I would say, first of all, don't do that. That was a bad idea. Like, you should incorporate some employees from the town that you're going into. So that's going to bring you clientele in the first place, especially in hospitality. But
So you're saying people that follow the people that are already.
yeah, and it
that
doesn't
they
even
know?
yeah.
But I've heard actually, it's funny you brought that up. Years ago when I first opened, I got some advice from another craft beer bar, which happened to be about 30 miles away. And they said, whatever you do not hire the local people.
Yeah, well, you don't want the leave-ins. Like, you don't want to hire the people that have been.
No, they didn't want to hire local people because local people bring their friends, and then all of a sudden, once you bring their friends, somebody gets a free drink, and then they get 2 free drinks, and then they bring their friends, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, it's more of an expected thing. Not that it would happen,
That is a side
but
of it.
it's
I would have.
something that he was worried about. He said he would rather hire someone 2 towns over than hire somebody in that town because you want to be able to trust that person with people that they don't.
True, and they're coming in with sort of a chip on their shoulder already because they've been in this town longer than you have. So I can
Right.
see that. But I wish I blended it a little bit more at first, I think. Like, I liked having my veterans come over and help me open the place. That was great. It was a good luxury to have. But there was no connection to the town. I didn't have one. None of my employees did. So that was something I felt like I fell short on. And then I started panicking. So I looked around what other bars were doing, and I was like, oh, well, T-Bone's has got the Rejuvenator. This is what I was alluding to. I'm going to do a version of that. So, like, because
hell's
Main
the
Street had the
Rejuvenator?
slap shot. It was like a
hangover
specialty, a hangover remedy drink where it was like Gatorade,
okay.
Red Bull, and like peach vodka or
yeah.
something like that. So we did a version of that. And it was like, I thought it was innocent, but I look back, I'm like, dude, that was fucking grimy. Like, you straight up was like, oh, that bar is making that work. I'm across the street. I'm going to do the same thing. It was just shit like that I did, like, in
But
hindsight.
you say don't steal ideas, and not to harp on it, but like Andy said, sometimes you do stuff not thinking that you're stealing an idea, and it morphs into the same thing that a neighbor place may be.
Right.
Not a lot of places have neighbors.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, downtown Plymouth is different because we're all in one little, short area.
True.
But if she's opening up this place that, there's not another restaurant 3, 4, 5 miles away from her,
True.
she's not really stealing anything. And if she does, that might be that far away that
Right.
maybe it's a good idea to steal that.
I guess the simple way to say it is if you are opening up in an area that's around of other restaurants and stuff, make friends with your neighbors. Like, go and frequent the other restaurants in town. I think that helps a lot.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Get to know those people,
And-
get to know their employees, kind of.
We definitely want to see what
To morph
works,
the
too.
question is, don't think of, definitely what should we not do. It's what should you do. And I think marketing is the biggest thing. When I first opened this place, Facebook was just coming up.
You just got Facebook last
I
week.
mean, it was just, it's still, it was 10 years ago. Everybody was just starting to carry phones.
Yep.
Yep.
So marketing back then wasn't as big as it is now, but if you're going to open up a place, you got to let people know that you're the new owners. You got to let people know what the changes are. You
Yep.
gotta-
Can't rely on word
Got to
of
get
mouth.
people interested before you're even open, so that when you open, we opened, we put a sandwich sign out in the sidewalk that said "now open." Like that was how we opened.
Right.
It's still out there.
Yep.
No,
You guys had
Spelt
some
wrong,
stuff
but
in
that's
like
all right.
beer publications and shit, didn't you? Didn't you do like Beer Advocate
Early
or like
on,
Yankee
yeah.
Brew News? Yeah, that's how
but
I
there
found
wasn't,
you guys.
There wasn't that social media that's out there today.
No, not even close.
You know what I mean? There wasn't like TikTok, a Grinder, or anything.
Grinder. Now,
Your Grinder account's crushing it. Now.
and nowadays, like you can to build that community support. I mean, there's so many things you can do. Like offer a special night or a free app or something to first responders in your town. Like do something to show the town that you're part of that town.
Right.
And people remember that shit.
Absolutely. Not just there to take the money and run.
Right.
Which is what I looked like. Coming into town with a bunch of out-of-towners, not being involved in Plymouth at all, not doing anything, and it just
with your
looked
weird
like
accent and stuff.
my weird accent.
This guy
and-
from New Jersey.
yeah. 12
Massachusetts.
Portuguese girls that look like nobody down here.
I mean, that probably helped you.
Towards the end of that, yeah.
But serve quality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quality
If you
too.
don't serve quality, people won't come back.
Right.
That's awesome.
Because they're your marketing too.
That's right.
That's,
That's right. Word of mouth is.
I had
is
a burger
huge.
the other day
That's
at
right.
New World. It was
Have you
fucking
tried the
great.
new place? Have you tried the new place?
Right.
That new place waited
And
3
if somebody
hours.
says, "Oh yeah, we were there," don't bother. They're
Yep.
not going to bother.
Right.
Yeah, that's very true. Marcos Tejada. Sorry, Marcos. Tejada? There you go. In
got
regards to accepting bartending jobs, which demands of the job are deal breakers?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Yeah, it's bartending.
It's bartending.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Are you trying to get a bartender job, or are you giving a bartender a job?
In regards to accepting bartending jobs.
Sounds like he's
It sounds like
Looking
it sounds
for it,
like
man.
there's a job offer on the table.
well,
Like I don't
go
like,
into the bar, like know what bar
Well-
you're going to go work at. Like obviously, if you don't want to muddle drinks, don't
Well,
work at a
you
cocktail
know what?
bar.
Isn't
that-
If you want to pour,
I love the
Blender.
people. I love the people that come into your place and they ask about employment. And I'll say, well, why do you want to work here? What do you know about us? Oh, I don't know. I've never been in here before.
Yeah.
yeah.
Next.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough.
At least do your homework.
Right. Right. Pretend you.
But why would you want to work for a place or a company or a restaurant that you don't know anything about?
Is it so hard to come in like a couple days before and have dinner or lunch or
Right.
just kind of, even if it's just 2 days before?
Just check it out.
Right. Right.
Look on the interweb.
I just don't understand like you know you're going for bartending position. Like what weird shit would they be asking
No,
you to do that you'd be like, well, I'm not doing
Clean puke. We talked about that on the previous,
They're
but
like,
I mean,
"Whoa,
don't overserve.
frozen drinks. I'm not making frozen drinks.
But there are
Yeah.
places like that. Like
Yeah.
you can, like I get where he's coming from. Like if you don't want to be a mixologist to hang out with Jordan, so there's certain
Yeah,
bars
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
want to work
I mean,
at.
like-
Like,
I knew that was
if
coming.
you don't want to work at a wine bar, you don't go.
Well, I
to
think
the
that's
Uber next
doing your
door.
homework to know
Right.
what you're applying
Exactly,
for.
but that's why I mean
that-
that's what he seems like he's asking. But like,
I don't know. It just seemed like what's deal breakers? Like I don't know. That just seems like a weird question.
Yeah, and I mean, the only thing I could see being like a deal breaker is like how tips are handled or something. But even then, I mean,
Well, let's turn it around. Let's say if someone came into your place, what's the deal breaker? If somebody came in and said, listen, I can't work weekends, it's a deal breaker.
that's a deal
Yeah.
breaker.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
You know, from our perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I guess so. Maybe them saying like, "Oh, you have to work every holiday." Like, you know,
yeah.
you can bartend here, but you got to work every holiday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that a deal breaker for you? How bad do you want the job?
what
I
hours
mean,
you have to work? I guess.
yeah, I guess that could be it. What nights? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Right.
What your responsibilities are.
Right. You're going in as a new bartender at a place. I mean, I think you got to kind of start from the bottom and work your way up. So
Yeah, you got to pay your dues, man.
This
Right.
person sounds like you would get along great with him, and by that I'm being sarcastic because he sounds like someone you would feud with because only accepting a job
Yeah.
to be a bartender. I'm like, oh, you have 7 offers to be a bartender
Right.
right now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, to
right.
me that's
You're gonna have an announcement day on
You
ESPN?
might now,
Right.
but it's that's the kind of like
It's just a weird attitude.
It's a weird like,
Yeah.
It's
Like,
that kind of like
do
I'm
you
going
want-
to work a job that is going to pay me. Well, what are they going to do for me? Like what?
Already coming in entitled.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
good.
yeah.
when it sounds like
I
this
hate
person
that.
has dropped
Yeah.
their resume at every place.
That's the worst.
in
Yeah.
the block, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, everyone offered me a job.
Right.
Well,
But
did
that's
you want
where
to
I
work at
think-
any of them?
Right. I don't think there's a bartender out there good enough.
So somebody comes in applying for a bartender, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your I would rather this than that list? So my example would be, I would rather someone come in who's got a really good attitude and maybe a lack of experience, because I can train them how to make drinks and give them the experience. But if you come in with an attitude and say, listen, I'm the best bartender in the world, and they may be, but they can't get along with the customers. They're quiet and aggravated behind the bar, but they make great drinks. That doesn't help me.
Right.
You can't teach personality.
You cannot
No.
teach personality.
No.
So I think personality is number one coming in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Character and personality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In like that kind of entitlement, I was hiring for people when I worked at Home Depot, and this, you go through the whole. There, it's very formulaic. Like, you have a list of questions you have to ask. You cannot deviate from those questions. And at the end, there's always that. Well, do you have any questions for me? And as the future employer, what I want to hear is no,
Right.
because I want you to want that job. I don't want to, I don't want you to. And this one woman's like, yeah, what's your sick time policy?
Right.
And I'm like, not working here. Like,
Yeah.
like that's the first question out of your mouth? Like,
Right.
no, fuck that.
Yeah, because that's just straight up telling you I am going to be sick.
I like
First question out of
yeah.
their mouth should be, so when do I start?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
would be okay.
But that's why I
or
like
when
the
can I
when's my
expect to hear
question
back?
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like when you start asking about like, what's your benefit? I mean, benefits might be okay, but like sick time or
But that's when you get the job offer. You can
yeah,
Then talk
absolutely
about
for
that.
sure. But just shut up in the interview. That's people are stupid. Patrick Armstrong, what's the best way to greet a table?
What's up, bitches?
I knew you were gonna say that.
Because you've been greeted by me before.
I have. That's a very
Well, hi, welcome to this something,
really? Is that a
something.
question?
Like, yeah, I mean,
Depends where you are.
right. Don't be a robot.
yeah.
Yeah.
How about figure it out yourself? Like,
Have you ever been
what's
here
the best
before?
way to greet a table?
How you guys doing today? I mean, depends on your environment.
Couldn't think of
Yeah.
a better question.
Carl's very touchy because
Well,
he does a shit job at
this
greeting
must
tables.
be-
He's
I
like,
greet
what do
tables
you
all-
want?
No,
What?
I don't. I say, let's go, let's go.
Let's go.
I got other tables.
You gonna sit down or what?
Yeah.
What do I gotta show
Carl
you?
pulls a chair
The
out from
fucked up
underneath
thing
him.
is that's real. Like, anyone listening right now that doesn't know Carl, straight up, that's
Yeah.
real. And he is the only person on this fucking planet that somehow gets away with it. It comes across as charming. I
Isn't
don't
it
understand.
bizarre?
It's ridiculous.
I used to work with like my first job, and I worked at Stop and Shop, and I worked with this fucking older guy, and he would say the most outlandish shit to customers, and they're all like,
That's
That
Carl.
work- Like I used to work with someone when I worked in Framingham that like she was a daytime bartender and she would just shit on people, and every day people would come in. I would work a shift for her. They'd walk in. Like, oh, Tammy's not working today. Like, I'm out of here. I'm like, oh, fuck me, right? Like, I'll be a dickhead too.
yeah, he would like, and it was always when there was like a full line of customers, and he'd be like, oh, it's nice to see you in here sober today, and the person would be like, oh, you're so funny, and I'd be like,
So I like to
just
do that to
standing
people.
there like jaw agape.
Like I like to get a little street justice. So like we'll have
Yeah.
some kid that was falling asleep at his chair. So the next time I see him, I will blow up his spot in front of him. I'm like, oh, Steve, you gonna stay awake today, buddy?
That's good though.
Yeah.
You're also showing that you are comfortable with them and that you remember them.
Yeah, it's
Well,
building
not only
rapport.
that, but you reiterate,
Don't
you're
do
not
that
doing
again.
that again.
Yeah,
I didn't
right,
go up to him
right.
like, hey, asshole, stay
Right.
awake, or you're fucking never coming back here again.
Right.
But
People like a little bit of the business. As long as it's done correctly, they like
it's
that.
all tonality.
Yes, you feel part of
Yeah.
the
Yep.
situation, which at the end of the day, everybody wants. You
Yep.
know, they want their bar, their restaurant.
Yep.
Well, there were even like restaurants like Roadkill Cafe and shit that.
Dick's Last Resort.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
like purposely do it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't like those. That
Oh,
makes
yeah.
me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a little too much.
And you know if Kyle feels uncomfortable, it's rough.
Well, Carl's like,
Well, he's an easy target.
Yeah,
I'm sure they have a lot of fun with him.
Carl likes to give the shit, not take it. Taylor Pugh. I feel like we've addressed this one before, but it's an ever-changing thing. Looking for a way to take crypto as payment. Any ideas?
We have talked about this, and I
Yeah.
have no fucking clue.
I feel like
It ain't ready yet.
No.
no.
Yeah, it's
I feel
too
like it's-
cryptic.
Too
I
exactly.
mean, you could do some sort of fun like promotion with it or something like
Right.
that, and if you got creative enough, like, but ultimately you're going to be taking cash and credit.
yeah,
like,
it's too volatile. Like,
Yes.
There's no unless you like send me blockchain
Well,
stuff and
let's
things.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go that cash credit. Paying my meals tax as a good citizen. Mm-hmm. I look on their website and it says you can get it directly, what is it, EBT or whatever it is,
Yeah.
or credit card. And if you hit credit card to pay the state, it says we'll charge you a 2.5%
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
fee.
I've done that.
Because of the credit cards.
Yeah.
Why can't I do that to my customers?
You could.
You could. You'd have to just.
I'd be crucified.
Oh, you would, for sure. Yeah.
So you can do it.
So the state does it,
Yeah.
and it's accepted. Well, why can't I?
Because you have to pay them.
Because
Your customers don't have to
Yeah.
pay you.
the state's
the
the
state
faceless
doesn't
enemy.
care.
Yeah, they're gonna get their money one way or another. You know, these people that you charge the 2% credit card charge to, they're just gonna go across the street to.
They can find you to yell at you. They can't find the state. It's a deep state.
And you
Deep state.
And you have no
Illuminati.
other option to pay your taxes. Like you don't get to be like, well, I'm not going to pay the state the tax. I'm going to pay
Right.
Steve's tax emporium. You know.
Right. Go to Steve.
We should open Steve's Tax Emporium.
Tax
Emporium.
Change the name of your new restaurant, Jordan.
Yeah, Steve's Tax Emporium. It's right across the street from the courthouse.
But that goes to like my secret bar names. Like, oh, I gotta go to the Tax Emporium today, and you just
That's
sit
true.
at your bar all
Like
day.
Carl's got the post office.
Yep. Stop blowing up his spot. Now he has to go to the bank.
Oh, Jen's known for years.
Yeah.
She's just
I
winding up.
don't think it was ever for Jen.
No, yeah, true. No, it's for the staff. Yeah.
Brenda Barnum, has anyone used a self-pour beer system? We have a full-service restaurant with a bar patio that is busy. With the rise in labor costs and the difficulty in finding workers, I thought of something like this to help reduce pressure on the servers.
No pun intended.
So I've used one like to drink from.
Yeah,
But,
Waxies, right?
Yeah, and there's a couple places in
Waxy's,
Boston that used to do
yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
I don't know, but then it's almost kind of the same thing as what like Uber does with their self-serve wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's working well for them.
Yeah, I think it works better with wine. Beer is like, if you don't know how to pour a beer, you literally just fucked yourself. With
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I don't know, though. It is a good point. You might have a leg up. I could see that working great for breweries. Instead, if they're opening up and doing pours, like think of like a big brewery like Mayflower, and they had one of those tables, like, you know what I mean, where they didn't have to worry about staffing their fucking.
Well, look, forget about the tables. Why not just put them on the wall?
Yeah.
Right.
There's places down south that do that.
And then you
It's
just
almost
walk
the same
up. You just
concept.
have to get something that'll shut it off after a 16-ounce
Yeah.
pour.
I
Right.
think it's like the cards, like they do next
Yeah.
door.
And they do those. So you talk about like not being able to fill a beer thing. They do those things. They have at like ballparks and shit now, where it fills it up from the bottom
Yeah.
of the glass, and you don't even have to worry about it. You just fucking put the glass on top. It fills
Yeah,
perfect head every
I've
time.
seen them on.
Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't seen one live.
No.
No, I haven't seen one live either.
I also feel like if you're doing this because of staffing, this isn't like a cheap fix. Like
Right.
you're gonna spend a lot of money.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that will pay off in a very long time.
Yeah,
but it does alleviate the drama of having a staff. And
Right, if you
know,
can cut your staff in half
right,
and have the customers still get the same amount of service
right.
or the
I
perceived
feel
amount
like
of service.
you would hate these places though, because you like to go talk to the staff.
well, it's because I'm a people person.
Yeah, but that's the same thing. Is like I think that takes away from. It
Yeah,
all
it
depends on what
does.
kind of place you are.
Yeah.
but I'll agree. Like if I sit at a bar and if going into a place like here or Speedwell, I prefer to sit at the bar.
Right.
Yeah.
And because there's that interaction with
Right.
the person, I feel like you get better service as a whole because they can easily
When
see.
me and the wife go out, I like to sit at the bar, but she would rather sit at a table because when I go to a bar, I talk to everybody but her. Sitting at a table. But it's true.
Yonda's the same
You end up talking to the bartender or the people next to you, and
I'm surprised Jen and Jen don't hang out.
that
They hit it off the other day. I mean, I think they'd hang out great.
I think-
together. I'd just be really bad for Carl and I think.
Yeah, I think they need their own podcast.
Yeah.
it'll be like the your parents when you were kids be like, I thought you were at Carl's house.
Yeah.
But that happened to me yesterday. I was hanging out at Speedwell and I was with a friend of mine, and someone like next to her overheard something. And next thing I know, I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes while they're having a conversation about like who they know, and yeah, so that shit happens.
Yeah, that's the whole point of going out,
Yeah.
right? I guess I was picturing Mayflower Brewery, or any brewery in general, but Mayflower because it's the most familiar to me. So that you walk in and you have the brew pub, where you're going to sit and get a beer. And you, of course, especially a brewery, you want someone representing that brand. So you want a bartender. But then they have the outdoor where they have music, and then they got the trailer. And then they have the other bar in the brewery itself, and they got to staff that. So when they have events, instead of that, like, sure, you got the ambassador sitting at the regular bar in the brewery, but then those other two ones, instead of having to staff those all the time, a couple of those tables or self-pouring things might be kind of beneficial.
I don't know, I still think.
well, I
like,
mean, you go to. I'm sorry to
it
interrupt.
takes away from.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Since when are you sorry?
We went to I don't know, some chain restaurant, and I guess now you can order and pay with that little machine that they put at your table.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So it's a little odd for me to do it because I'm like, all right, well, did it work? Did it not
Yeah.
work?
Yeah.
Do I have to ask somebody? And if I have to ask somebody, why not just give them my order? So I don't know if the world's ready for that yet.
Yeah, we're almost there, but I know we're figuring out how to implement it. I think where it doesn't feel so impersonal,
Right.
Because I feel like you go to like a chain restaurant, like a Chili's or something like that. I know exactly what you're talking
Yep.
about. You see that waitress twice, and that's it.
Yeah.
They come in, they take your order. Sometimes you can even plug the order in yourself.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
They
Yeah,
might just
you-
bring you your drinks, and that's
Yeah,
it.
they just run the food and run the drinks, and that's
Right.
it. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to work at a place like that because it's got to affect.
Well,
your
do you make
tips?
tips?
Oh,
I
for
was
sure.
gonna say, yeah,
Are
like
you gonna tip this? You're not gonna tip the same amount, like-
Right.
Well, we were talking about the wine bar where you pour your own wine, and they still have to have some staff there.
Right.
Does that staff make any tips? Like, do you not
Yeah.
tip? Do you tip? I don't know.
That's odd.
and I tell you, if I was at a Chili's or wherever that had that little, contraption, and at the, I ordered through the contraption, I ordered a second drink through the contraption. The only time I saw the waitress was when she came over to deliver. At that end, when it's like, this is your tip options, I'm way less likely to, because usually now there'll be like 3 options or like
Right.
Yeah,
tip
15,
yours.
20, 25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm way less likely to press 25
Right.
because I had no connection with that person.
Yeah, I
do
feel
they expect
dirty
that?
doing it.
Right.
I'm like, yeah.
But do they expect that because they're making full wages?
Maybe they're getting paid more an hour,
right.
right?
They're
Oh,
making
maybe.
full. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's different ways to do it.
We
So, I don't know.
should we should email us and ask that question.
Yeah,
So
that's a good idea.
I have a question for you guys. What was the question we're trying to answer?
Yeah. The automatic pouring.
Oh, right,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, I had to think about that.
I'm like, I don't remember what we were talking about.
Like Uber, the way they have it set up, I like it because the person, it's kind of like a brewery setup. Like the person working the bar gives you the card, you swipe to get the wine poured. But they'll also answer questions about the wine for you. Like they know what you're serving
And
yourself.
they have people working the floor too, like by the machine. So
Right.
when I walk in there and it's with a complete glazed look on my face, I have no idea what I'm doing. There's someone will come up to me like, "Hey, do you need help?" So like,
Right.
that you
I
still
just-
have that. It's not like fucking. let's
But if
go
you've
to
been
the-
there
the
3-4
Coke machine.
times, you're gonna
Right.
go do that. You're not gonna talk to anybody. You don't need to talk to anybody.
You're a
nobody's
pro now.
coming. Nobody's coming to your table.
But
So
True.
do you tip? Why-
change- I don't
do
know.
you,
They
how
change
do you
all their
tip?
wines and
If it's a
stuff.
card, do you tip on your card? I don't know.
I don't know.
you do. You get a bill at the ends,
Yeah.
so you guys would know if you go.
But
visit
how would you
neighbors
tip?
Like me.
I've been
Right.
there.
I just always
No,
wonder.
no. How would a normal person tip? Because we're in the industry. I like to think
Yeah.
that we tip a little
Right.
bit more than
Yeah.
usual.
Right. If we're already thinking this way, the common consumer that isn't in the industry is thinking that
If
way.
we're saying I'm
They're
going
a
to go
lot
from
less
25 to 15, they're thinking
Right.
I'm not tipping at all.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
sure
it's
they
like
get that.
takeout.
Yeah,
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
it's like Andy's Dunkin' Donuts coffee.
That's right.
So you're hiring less people, but the people you have to hire might be less likely to stay there because they're not making tips
Correct.
because they're competing with a robot.
Unless they're making that much more an hour that they're not expected to get tips, and anything that they get tipped is a bonus.
Right. But
Yep.
making that much more an hour, are you ever going to make as much as you make at a place that's strictly, serving wage and tips? I think people.
You could. I mean, if you pay somebody, let's say, outrageous $20 an hour to come and work at your restaurant, no tips,
And they don't have to deal with people.
and they still get tips.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Someone
You know,
that
now
either
they're making that much.
I could see that work. Somebody that has never done it before that could work for, or someone that's been doing it for a long time that's tired of dealing with people. I could see that going either way.
My big question with that, and I know we asked Jill. Was it Jill? What'd you-
Katie?
Katie. Sorry, Katie. I'm not great with names.
edit out
Listen to the show,
right
you
name,
know.
fish, not the wrong one.
But to me, it just seems like it'd be way harder to police over drinking.
They do it though.
Yes and
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
It's tracked by the computer.
Right. So they
Yeah.
can stop you at a certain amount of drinks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What
That
do they call
doesn't mean
Tapping out or whatever?
hey, it's
Ouncing
my
out.
it's my
Ouncing
third bar and I've been kicked out of the last
Right.
2.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean,
come in and I can start serving myself.
Especially a
that's where
place
the
like
employee's
here,
got to
yeah.
monitor it. But
Right.
Or like, okay, my card doesn't work. Dan, can you go up and get me a wine?
But then you're gonna ounce out
yours.
my card.
Right.
But
So
you
like
could do
event-
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because it's not like I think they said it's like 16 ounces, 20 ounces, or something like that. So it's not like a huge amount.
Right.
Like
Whatever Kate did that night before, where she sat at her house and drank until she thought she shouldn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
The most fun experiment
Yeah.
ever.
I don't know. I just feel like that's a system that people can exploit.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure there's.
They can
ways.
exploit anyone.
That's right.
Yeah, that
Well, I
system's
had nothing
exploitable.
regular
Yeah.
Bartender and all that.
All right, next question.
Okay.
But we only took 3 hours to answer the last one, Andy. You think
This
you'd
is
be
what we're
ready?
supposed to do. We're doing our
I know, sorry, I was involved in
content.
that one. All right. Elaine Tucker. So I have this local development, 1,000 people plus, that I'm constantly being told I should advertise at.
Say that again.
So I have this local development, 1,000 people plus,
That's
that
their
I'm
age.
constantly being told I should advertise at. I have an ad 2 times a week in the newspaper, but every time
Everybody needs a news.
every time our
Questions from
name is mentioned
1965.
on any of their local websites, get constant ooh, yuck.
Next
or
question.
Tired, tried it 12 years ago, will never go back type of comments. Usually the same individuals. What would you do to ignore? What would you do? Tried to ignore it, but makes advertising on social media very distressing.
That's social media.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna
Yeah.
have people that say that have never been there. So
I'm not even
I-
understanding the question.
I stopped looking at Yelp a long
Yes.
time ago.
Yep.
But we've always said, and there might be some really good people out there that want to share their really good experience they had at your place. You're going to get one of those for every 20 of the people motivated to bring you down.
The only review you need is to look out and see, is your restaurant full?
Yep.
That's it.
Be in your restaurant, be in your dining room, talk to the
But
client,
I
tell
don't
them
think
that they're spending money.
they weren't
Right.
really asking specifically about reviews.
I'm really not sure.
It
what
started
that was.
like it was
Well, it
like,
sounds like
it's-
they're trying to debate
figure
if
out,
it's
like-
worth it to go advertise at this place.
Yeah, and newspapers just doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a really
No.
sensible.
So this person's old.
yeah.
So Karl, take this question.
Yeah, this is your expertise.
I would go on the interweb, right?
Yep.
And
Go
go
on.
on Napster and stuff.
Yep.
Put your,
Don't go on Kazaa.
There he goes. If what's so development when here it's a she, right?
you gotta get LinkedIn.
It was very.
That's what I'm
Yeah, I think
picturing.
like
We don't
gated
get that over
community
here
or
because
something.
we're in New England. There's
Yeah.
not none of that shit over here. But you go over like Arizona, like everything's a development, right?
Yeah.
So maybe looking for mailers, like send out mailers.
What if
Yeah.
you?
I don't,
So if they have like a central like community lawn or something, what if you do like try to do a pop up thing there?
It's a good idea.
And that way,
Which,
What if-
which a bunch of people
Great
just did
idea.
at the waterfront?
What if it's a
festival.
chicken
Yeah.
place? They can dress up like chickens and walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah, you could do that too. Anything to draw attention to your restaurant
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let them know you exist. But I like Dan's idea. Maybe on a Saturday or Sunday, pop up like a friggin' ice cream truck. Offer your product at a discounted or sample size and
Yeah,
get
just
people
do a
familiar
tent
with
and
you.
just say, hey,
Yeah.
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 free samples tonight. Come on down, check us out.
Yeah, and then the people that said it 12 years ago, which is the longest fucking time to not go to someplace,
Yeah, I know.
can suck it.
Yeah, fuck them. I mean, they're going to die soon anyway. So
I mean, it sounds like this is a retirement community
Right.
anyway, because they're reading newspapers. So
that's a good point. Another good point. So you might want to PRA your food.
yeah.
There's if there's a
Come to my Jell-O
commercial
restaurant.
area near you, like I used to work in an industrial park, and every once in a while we would have restaurants stop in and like drop off a pizza.
Right.
It would never be enough to feed everybody, but
That's the point.
but
You
then
make them hungry.
Yeah, but then you'd have people, whoever got the pizza or fucking snacks, whatever it was, that would give them incentive to go give it a try,
Right.
for their lunchtime.
Yep.
Especially if you're trying to boost your lunchtime.
Yep. I live in a development of sorts, I guess. It's more of like a village, condo, whatever place, and there's someone in charge. They're
in
the
the
person
plantation.
who advertises for that place. They're the person who manages the grounds and keeps all the people who live there informed and all that. Like,
Prints
try
the
to get in touch.
newspapers.
Brings the news. Try to get in touch
Turns
with
the
that
butter.
person, whoever handles the development. You know what I mean? Someone's renting out those places, or whether it be a retirement home or something. Build a relationship with them.
And
Well-
they probably have a Facebook page. You can tag their page, and then you're seen by all the people who follow that page.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Have you done anything with like the hotels around here? Like
I
know-
just give them like handouts. Like
yeah,
the little,
but it's something like that. Like it's almost the same thing. It's like
Yeah.
they get random people from who the fuck knows where.
Yep.
Like where should I go? Like you get those hotel people on your side. I mean, I've done it.
Yeah,
on
you get in their
vacation.
books, like you go into a hotel room, you get
Yeah.
they always have the binders of like where to dine and try to get in one of those
Yep.
things.
Like when I worked at BBC, I would give them a bag of Doritos and stuff. I'm like, yeah, come get the best Doritos in town. So,
It worked.
Chauncey Gardner, looking for some real world input.
oh well, you
Sorry,
came to the
man.
wrong place, buddy.
So we want to have a backup cellular connection for credit card processing when our local internet goes down, which is often. Oh, that sucks. I've been told to just go to AT&T to get one. Anyone here using this system, does it work?
I have it. I do it through Comcast, which all towns and areas are different, right? They don't all have the same
Right.
cable or internet providers. But I have used it. It works. It's on a backup battery sort of system, so you get like I don't think they do it by data. I think it's timed. So I get like 4 or 5 hours if internet goes down of this backup cellular internet. And you can tell it runs a little slower. But if we lose power or that goes out, we're probably closing soon anyway. But it works.
Wait, so does this work for when you lose power or when you lose internet?
It's both.
Okay.
Because it's cellular, so you don't need it's on a backup battery, and the backup internet connects to a local cell tower or whatever, which I believe is through AT&T, right? Xfinity. No, they have their own mobile. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But it works. It's a little slower. You also, most POS systems have a dead phone application as well, which is dangerous because if you get a credit card declined, you won't know until your internet's back.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it is good to have. You could at least, instead of writing down everyone's credit card numbers
Doing
and
the
shit,
old swipe thing.
yeah, the old swipe, the carbon copy
Right.
thing. You can store everyone's credit card numbers, and God forbid 1 or 2 don't go through. That's going to be the least of your problems.
But that's going to be
Yeah.
a lot.
right.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I think it's worth it, and I think the technology is probably better. I've installed it 3 years ago, so it's probably getting better and better. But it's worth it. I mean, how often does your internet go out?
They said
Right.
often.
Yeah,
that was my question.
It might be good to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be good to have in that case.
It's like when our power goes out around here all the time.
Right. Except and when there's a hurricane.
Yeah. Great stable connections then.
Yeah.
Do they have cellular water mains, Jordan?
Yo, come on, man. Why is this all digging up? You really are. You guys are trying to make me grumpy today.
Misery loves company.
For real.
Charlene Hanka? Sure. My fellow salary manager stepped down to be an hourly manager, but she's still making the same amount per hour as I am. Am I wrong for thinking that this is wrong? However, I'm not sure if her benefits changed.
Well, that's where I was going to go. Do you know the whole story? Did the benefits change? Or can you take time off and still collect your salary? She has to actually
Yeah.
be there physically
Yep.
to collect hers. You know what I mean? So,
But this person's supervisor?
Manager.
Hourly manager.
She's a salary manager. Her coworker stepped down, became an hourly manager, but
Okay.
they still making the same. Are they working?
Then what does
with-
it matter?
well, she just thinks because I guess if you're taking a step down, theoretically, you should be making less money. But I think she told the whole story right at the end of it. She's just like, but I don't know what her benefits are like. Sounds to me like the salary manager gets benefits. And if you step down from salary and go to hourly, you're probably not meeting the requirement to get those benefits anymore.
Well, it's one of those
But if they're
things too.
co-managers, wouldn't they get the same?
Well, my real
But
question
not-
is,
it's
how
not
many
salary
hours
anymore.
is the hourly manager putting in?
Yeah,
'Cause
Right.
that's-
I was gonna say.
If it's less than you're working, that's not right.
That's true. That's a very
If
good
she's
point.
working the same or more, so it's not really the dollar amount; it's how many hours are you putting in.
Right.
Well, I was gonna say too. It's the other way. It's like if you're making the same amount, but you're working more hours, then that sucks.
Right.
because
That's
You're
doesn't
one of those abused salary
Right.
employees, and that's probably why the other one stepped down.
If you're a good employee getting paid salary, you should be able to get your job done in less time than 40 hours, too. You know what I mean? You're getting paid salary. Really, it doesn't matter how long you're there as long as you're getting the job done, right?
What?
Yeah, to a point.
Not,
Yeah.
I don't think for us because
Because if people come in for 10 hours and say, well, I got everything done, I'm only going to work 10 hours this week. then-
Yeah, it's true. I guess I'm not thinking.
Well, and I'm just thinking.
I
of,
don't
like,
know why I wasn't thinking
look at your
restaurant,
hours,
but-
like how long you have to be. Like you're a manager, not like so you can't come and go. Like,
Yeah,
so you're
right.
here from 9 to 5 every day, no matter
That's-
what. So
see,
like,
I find that weird. How do you pay a manager like in a restaurant salary? Like, I don't know. I've always done hourly. I don't know how you do that, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm on salary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and someone's keeping tabs on your hours and all that shit.
Yep.
No shit.
Because you're on salary doesn't mean you don't punch in and out.
Yeah. How
yeah,
else
that's
do you,
true.
You gotta do stuff on the computer and all that shit.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. I don't know. It's just me, I guess. I'm a manager over there, and I never punch in and punch out.
Well, you also do the book, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay, Leslie Martin. What things have you guys done to make improve indoor air quality? Looking for something to offer to make people more comfortable dining indoors.
I use military grade gas masks. and,
Pass them out at the door.
and giant box fans.
Take some things off the menu that might cause flatulence.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No garlic, no sauteed onions.
You upgraded last summer.
Yeah, I feel like I've pounded that one because during our COVID thing. But
That
yeah, I
was 3
installed.
years ago. So reiterate, Jordan.
I'll reiterate.
Well, I mean, that's the impression that I was getting from that. She wants customers to feel more comfortable dining indoors.
Right.
So,
All right,
I mean,
so
we're in a Delta variant spike.
this is true. So it is still relevant. I'm just so tired of talking about it. My air conditioners always struggled at Speedwell. We needed to install new air conditioners anyway. The government forced us to close down half the week, so we decided to upgrade the building. We put in 2 more air conditioners. They come installed with air sweepers. And in these air sweepers, they filter out things from the air, just like impurities, but they also have a UV light that kill 99-point-something% of viruses or bacteria that pass through it. They got to get maintained twice a year. The bulbs got to get changed, stuff like that, which I'm due. But we put those in, great. It feels nice and cold inside there, but no one knows what the frig they're doing. So I got to remind people every month or so, hey, we installed these, they kill viruses. So it's all on how you market anything, but they work. They were FDA backed. About 6 months ago, it came out that yes, this technology works, and people that are aware that we have them, I think, feel more comfortable coming into Speedwell knowing that those are doing that. And I think the more people are happy that they're not sweating their ass off in there.
Is it something that you can run without the AC function?
Yes. Okay. So you can just pass.
Because I'm come December, people aren't going to be so thrilled about it.
Right. No, we ran them through last winter because we've had them for almost, it's been over a year now. So, but yeah, I couldn't go, I don't have a microscope. I have no way to prove that this is working. But it does have backing. It's been, that it's a Panasonic, so it's a credible company. And this is a style of air conditioner. It's a mini split, but it's the air sweeping variety is starting to grow now. They were the first ones to release it, but now obviously because of COVID, everyone's scrambling to do it. So look into those. It kind of double functions. It heats, it cools, it just gets smells and dankness out of the air, and and then it's supposed to kill viruses and stuff. So. Those are cool to look into.
Not cheap.
No, they're not cheap.
No, I'm sure they weren't.
2 heads were $14,000, not including installation. So.
And then they left them on the sidewalk for you.
Yeah, they did. And installed the wrong ones the first time and had to come back and reinstall.
I remember walking my dogs hey, Jordan, you have these giant boxes just outside your building right now.
That's right.
But that's the good thing about having neighbors.
Yes, with cute dogs.
Yeah.
Snows would protect them for you.
John Kennedy, has anyone thought about stopping accepting cash if it made things easier and just tip out through Venmo or Cash App? So has anyone seen or heard of a restaurant stopping? I know.
I've heard of
Why
the
wouldn't
exact
you just tip
opposite.
through your credit card?
No, I think they mean tip out the employees.
Yeah, because you would need
Okay,
cash on
right,
hand.
Right.
Yeah.
Just put them in your paycheck.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you do what I think we do is they don't get their tips at the end of the night, right?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do?
Well, as long as so I keep a bag of quote unquote petty cash on hand of
Yeah.
$2,000 every week, and sometimes they go through that before the weekend.
Yep.
So they'll have to wait till Monday until I do the deposit or whatever. Now there's so many credit card sales now that I've been having to go to the bank and pull money out.
Yeah.
To tip them out.
So we do ours. If the bartenders can usually take their money home for the most part, but sometimes we owe them money.
Yep.
But the floor staff and the support staff all get theirs on Tuesdays.
Yep.
So they get their whole week. So it's you kind of get a paycheck and your tips, but it's the same thing. It's we don't keep as much cash on.
Right.
We would blow through that $2,000 in a day.
Yes.
So
And it's just
you can't just go to the bank and keep money on hand. It's just
Exactly.
too much money out.
Yeah.
It's true. It's starting to get to that point for me,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I don't want to change the system, and we have a small enough staff where it's pretty manageable. And I don't do it. I don't distribute the tips. They go in the bag. They write in a logbook. So it's a very big honor system. Granted, I can see how much they should be pulling through the POS system anyway, but I'm not checking that every 2 minutes. So it is sketchy right now. But
the interesting thing is, I just don't feel like there's a lot of people paying in cash anymore.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
No.
You know?
So that's why most of the time we owe them so much money.
Yeah.
Because it's all credit card payments. So.
it's crazy.
Because when I work at the craft beer cellar, I remember when I was a kid, my parents were like, never work in a liquor store. They get held up all the time. And at the end of the night, I'd be like, why would anyone hold up a store now?
Right.
There's no money.
Right. I wonder about the Venmo thing too. I use Venmo a lot for petty little back and forth things and buying drugs, but but when you really want to tie a Venmo account to your business checking,
No, because
I don't
those
think
can
they
get hacked.
can.
too.
yeah, that's
I
what
know
I'm
people-
saying. That's not very secure, and
Yeah.
and
Isn't Venmo not supposed to be used for business?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
So
if
if
you
you're-
tie it, they're going to shut you down.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm sure that's your bank account. You can do it. I know I can transfer stuff from account to account.
Right.
Or to Leash and stuff like that. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It still seems weird.
yes, I agree.
and time consuming.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe you have 3 people.
Yeah.
You Venmo them at the end of the night, but you have 15 people you're tipping out.
It just gets really.
So how do
messy.
you do it? You put it in their paycheck?
No, they get their paycheck separate, and then they get an envelope for each day they worked.
So you give them cash?
Yeah,
I thought you said you weren't giving them cash. I'm sorry.
we don't give them that day of.
Of a day of.
Yeah.
But you still give them cash?
Yep.
So as soon as it hits, quote, the company's bank account,
It's Tuesdays.
You take
They
it out
do it all
and
on
it's out.
Tuesdays. So
Okay.
Cool.
I like that system.
Well-
it's the only thing that's really
Yeah.
feasible now.
Yeah.
And since Jeff Nardone finally showed up, I think you heard me. No, that's last call.
Hey.
last call.
Last call is where we go around the table and people can plug whatever they feel like plugging. And I'm going to start today with Karl Heine.
Oh,
Thank God.
Don't plug tomorrow night's event.
all right. So I really don't know what I want to plug. Let me see. I'll plug Stats Bar and Grill
Hey.
in Boston.
He's never been.
All right,
heard that's a
what a
good place.
great place. Actually, I was planning to go soon, and I know one of the managers, so I'm going to be drinking for free. Come
Let
on
you skip the
down,
line.
meet me, yeah, meet me in a couple of months. Venmo me and let me know when you're going to be there.
Yep.
I heard they have a bathroom art contest. Did you hear that, Jordan?
Do you have a what?
Bathroom art contest. Yeah, we're over at Stats.
You can absolutely write on our walls, but people rip them fucking down very often. It's all temporary. It's like the only thing that doesn't.
It doesn't
go on in
hit
our
the same
bathroom.
because Dan doesn't own it yet. So like I'm like I say yet because he's gonna eventually, but yeah, it doesn't hit the same. You can't like he's untouchable right now. He's invincible.
He's so like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever.
I don't give
Yeah.
a fuck.
You saw a bathroom at the other place, right? I don't give a fuck. You drawing it.
Again, not your bathroom though.
Yeah. What do you
fucker.
mean? You see those windows I made with
Start
the
drawing on snarls.
fine beer labels of Mayflower
But it's
Brewery?
last call.
Yes.
Yeah, I just plugged Mayflower Brewery.
There you go.
Friends of the
Yeah,
show.
There you go.
Yeah,
Mahoney,
That's the show,
Yeah,
Mayflower
Jeff
Brewery.
Nardone in the background just delivered a keg for Carl
Finally
and
showed
dropped
up
off
for
This
the
is
show.
my plug, not yours, Jordan.
Sorry.
All right?
Fuck, I always do that, dude. Damn, my bad.
Go visit Mayflower Brewery in Plymouth. My dogs love it there. Snarls' first visit went to the vet and then the Mayflower. So Archie's only been there a couple times because he's not well behaved. He did howl along with the musician there the last time I was there, though. So
It's offering a free service.
yeah, who doesn't want a free background singer?
Jordo.
I am gonna plug 1620 Keto Bakery. That's a good one. I just went for the first time. It's
great stuff, right?
Pretty awesome. It's in Camelot Park, right? Is
Yep.
that what they call that? It's like another little industrial business park or whatever over there in Plymouth. And yeah, I've been doing this keto thing sort of for about a year and a half now, maybe a little longer, to lose some weight. And now I can eat blondies, smoke weed at the end of the night and eat blondies and shit without feeling bad. And they got like keto ice cream and all that stuff. So if you're like diabetic or you're just trying to lose some weight or you just want to feel less guilty about the munchies, that's a good spot. Everything's freshly baked, locally owned and pretty awesome. They're hidden, so they need some word of mouth to get around, but check them out.
Cool. I'm going to plug Inebriart mug painting.
Hey!
Hey, give us a little self promotion. Our mug paintings are back because COVID is lifting. Not horrible. I don't know what's going on in your area, but we are back and we are pretty much everywhere in Massachusetts you want to be. Beowulf, Mayflower, Devil's Purse, Dorchester Brewery. But you can find out where we're going to be. You can go to either Facebook /Inebriart/events to see all our events, or you can go to the Inebriart.com website and check out the events page, and you can get your tickets right through Eventbrite.
Or if you
And-
see Andy walking down the street, just yell Andy.
yeah,
that's what I
just
did.
yell at me. It fucking happens all the time.
Watch him trip over the back of a truck and badly hurt his ankle.
Yeah, they were my knees.
your
That
knees,
was
that's
bad.
right.
That was such a bad day. Talked about that last night. So bad. But yeah, check them out. They're a good time. You get to take home a custom painted beer mug that you can drink out of, whether it's good or bad. And it's always a blast. And if you want to reach out to us, you can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com. I forgot the email. You can find us on all the social medias at bartalkcast. Send us your hate mail, death threats, definitions of
Please.
mixologists.
Nothing yet.
Yeah.
Your bartender
It's been a while.
acceptance
It's been a
letters.
while since we got any, communication from the world at large.
Still
But,
waiting for the moon to come get me.
Yeah. And you can send your questions there as well, and we will not attempt to answer them on the show, or at least try to remember what the question was when we read it. And I'll screw up your name. So that's pretty much it for now.
All right. Beautifully executed.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. You can find us on all social medias at Inebriart or on Instagram at Inebriart6. You can email us at inebriart@yahoo.com. And make sure you listen to the other podcasts on the Inebriart Podcast Network, including Bar Talk, Old Colony Cast, Retro Redoctopus, America's Hometown Horror Podcast, and our newest one, Theme Park Legends, a podcast about working at theme parks. What else? And we'll catch you again next time.